Hi all, Hal here with more Empyrion. And today what I want to do, because I had some questions about the structural integrity video that I put out a while back. Was this last week, right? So I wanted to show you that what we're talking about works in survival and how it works in survival versus creative mode. Because now that you've gotten an understanding of the basics of structural integrity, I want to show you how we actually apply this in-game. Now, since we're doing this in survival mode, I did want to show you, what seed we're using, the difficulty, so you can see exactly what we're doing. I'm doing everything off of the preset medium difficulty. Basically, it splits the difference between easy and hard, so we'll have a little bit of gear, we'll have a little bit of resource, and we can start crafting right away. But it also allows us to look at early game play progression as well. So from that, let us go ahead and we're going to start. Now, I don't think I've used this particular seed before, so this may not go quite as well as I'm hoping. We will see. But I wanted to show you exactly what we're doing, and that way everybody knows straight up we are in survival. We're doing everything legitimately. I'm not spawning resources or anything. Let's see if we can find us a place to land. You see any drones? Drones are usually a good thing, because if you can find the drones, that means there's usually resources around. Hey, iron deposit. Perfect. Look at that. So we're going to head that way. Man, you don't get much better than that on a hopeful start. Found iron right away. Now, if we're lucky, there are no drones here. If we're not, then, well, we're going to have drones, so. Okay, so we crashed. Right. So, just so you can see, we are on the medium difficulty, so we do have some resource. We're not completely boned. So we're going to go ahead and take all of this. I'm going to head directly for the iron deposit. Now, because I'm using the survival, the emergency constructor, survival constructor, whatever they're calling the thing now, basically what we're going to do is we're going to place this thing, let's see. There's lots of, hello. Lots of rock over here. So let's place it over here so that it's, out of the way. There's our survival constructor. Okay, it's been placed. And we're just going to drop basically all of our supplies. No, we're going to keep this on us. Okay, for that you need a bunch of stuff. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is I'm not really going to worry about building a base starter here. We do have some ingots, so we want to create plates so that we can create the base blocks. For these we need 10 steel plates each, which means 5 ingots. So we're not going to get a whole lot out of this. Actually, I do need to create a base starter, don't I? What's that, 8 blocks, right? No, I just need the one, okay. And then from there, let's go ahead and turn this on. Do that just to clear out the mission, and then for here, we are going to create 10 blocks, right? So while that is crafting, let's get our drill out, get our pistol out, because we may need it to kill a raptor over there. And what we're going to do is we're going to come over here, hit our drill, and we're going to get into this iron as quickly as possible. Look at that. We're already in the iron. Yay! Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and mine some of this up. And once we have a little bit more of the iron here and ready to go, I will bring it back because we're going to be here for a little while. I'm going to use at least 1 to 2 units of the biofuel, just because I want to make sure we have enough of this to really make a difference. So, right. So we will be right back. And we're back. So I went ahead and dug out about 300. It was like 301 or something like that, or so about 10% according to that. Just to show you here, we've just started refining it down because it is, 5 ore for each ingot, right? Is that right? Yeah, 5 ore for each ingot, for each set of ingots, which gives you 10 ingots out. We've got 20 steel plates, which is enough for 2 blocks. Yeah, they really increased with some of the later updates here. They really increased the amount of resource you need in order to get things built. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and continue getting this going. Want to get a couple of blocks here. Let's see. We're going to need one more set here. Okay, so that gives us enough to make a bunch of plates, right? So we have 100 ingots, so that's 50, 100. Okay. So we had 50 ingots. Interesting. I'm wondering why. Oh well. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and convert those over into blocks really quick. And just show you how fast you can actually get some of this stuff up and running. Alright. So, we have our base starter. Let's go ahead, while we're waiting for the rest of this to refine, we're going to go see if we can find us a place to set up a new base. Now, ideally, I always look for water locations. I think we're going to actually set up over here because it's going to be fairly convenient for getting to and from the materials. But it also gives us an area where we'll be able to show exactly what we're doing. Let me see how much resource we have, because I need to make a couple of cores so that we can make more of these. Right. So to make cores, we need metal components. So let's go ahead and make 20 metal components. We need 4 electronics, so we're going to make 16 of those. Actually, we'll probably just go ahead and make 20 of those, because those are 2 out. Yeah, so we'll make 20 of those just to have them. It's not like we won't use them. Okay, computers, we need 5. So we need 20 computers. This may end up killing what's left of our supplies. 20 computers. So to make a computer, we need 1 control device. So we need 20 control devices. We're not going to have enough for that, so we're going to make 10. We need, so if we were going to make 10 of those, that means we're only making 10 of these, which means we need another 20 metal components, which is going to be that. We need 2 cables, so 10, so 20 cables. Look at that. Easy enough, right? And then 20 electronics. Okay. So while all this is running, let's go ahead and go over here, and we're going to go right. 4. Okay. So while that's running, let's head over here to the west area. We're going to go grab a place to put down our core. Actually, that's a pretty good run from here, because we need to be heading that way. Alright. So when we were in creative mode, you saw me sink the core partially into the terrain. Ooh, look, raptors. Okay. So what we're going to try and do is see if we can get it right like that. And as you can see, the core is sitting there, right? So if we bring up our structural integrity, the core is pretty solidly fixed into the ground, right? So now we're just waiting for a couple of blocks to be made. Let's turn off structural integrity because, well, it just gets annoying when you're trying to do stuff. Wow, that's a whole lot of raptors. That's a crazy number of raptors. You are the regular raptor. The night raptors are the dark gray and black ones. So we've got two groups of raptors over here, which is not necessarily a good thing because that means we're probably going to get a lot of night raptors over here once the sun goes down. So, yes, I know to place a power generator on my base, yada yada yada. And again, we're not doing this as an actual playthrough. This is just a demonstration. So we're not going to be in here too entirely long. Okay, we've got more than enough. Let's go ahead and wait for 3 more of these. Actually, you know what? Let's go there. We have a little bit of power. So we're going to need to wait for the motorbike, for the plates to get done, and then we'll get our 10 steel blocks. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want to show you just what you can get away with even in survival as far as structural integrity is concerned. And then what we will be doing is as we progress through here, we're going to be doing a little bit more in the way of advanced structural integrity testing as well. I wanted to show you basically, you know, we know at about 10 the metal blocks will shear. And I want to show you what happens if you go horizontally as well as vertically. Because you will get different results depending on which direction you go. And we'll turn structural integrity on for it so you'll be able to see what's going on. But like I said, I do want to do this in survival mode, or I did want to do this in survival mode, simply because this way you can see, if you're actually playing the game, what you're going to have to deal with. All right. Okay, so we're almost done. And for the blocks, since that's 15, that's 20, so we can do at least another 10. Okay, and that is cooking those down. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do another quick cut, and I will bring you back when the blocks are ready to go. Hey all, and we're back. So we've got 20 blocks with us. Now, we may run into an issue, and I haven't tested this yet because I'm not quite sure on whether or not this is going to work. Because sometimes what will happen is when you place these, if it is not securely far enough into the ground, when you start placing blocks, it will actually shear at the core. The core basically breaks away from the terrain. So let's go ahead and bring up our structural integrity. And I'm going to do this one block at a time instead of dragging it out, because I want to show you when you get into a threat area where the whole thing will eventually come down. So I have the parts being made for an additional core so we can see what's going on. So if you remember last time, we were able to get to about 10 to 12 blocks out before things started to collapse. And as you can see, we're already at risk, and we're only, what, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're only about halfway out to where we were previously. All right, so let's go 7. We should be able to get at least one more. 8. So because of the fact that you have less support here this time than we did in creative mode, it is greatly reduced. You're talking about 2/3 of the length that you would normally get, because we're at 8 blocks instead of the 10 to 12. So we're, 75 to 80% where we were with more support under the structure. Now, if we bring in a line here that allows us to basically have this supported, so you just click and drag this straight down. I always go one extra, because if you notice here in the bottom left corner of that block, it's not completely seated. I always try to go completely down. That way I know no matter what happens, it's basically supported. Because if you get a drone in here, especially later game, if you get one of the cannon drones, or specifically the rocket drones, if they hit under here and knock out this area, it becomes unsupported. And if it becomes unsupported and you have weight up here, this whole thing is going to shear. Now we don't have to worry about it shearing. We actually have, a much more and much better supported structure. Now, if I was going to build this out to the, let's say, roughly north or south, so basically this side here to the right or to the left of this, I would probably want to make it 2 blocks tall. So what we would do is we say a block here and a block here. And then what I would do is I would drop down here and sink another block in on all of those, just to make sure that this core area is secure. Now, if we have any shear problems, what will happen is that the core should be okay. You'll just lose this area. So, especially once you get to the point where you're placing objects. So if you were to place something out here, say like a turret or anything with serious mass to it, your entire structure has just been made that much more secure. If you remember, before I shored all of that up, out here where this is the dark green starting to go into the reddish tone, this was actually in a deeper portion of the red tone prior. So that's the real world application of structural integrity within Empyrion. So this is how you can see it done. As you saw, it's actually really quickly. We're not too far into our day 1. We haven't even gotten into the first night yet, and we already are able to put down a base starter. We have it shored up so that it's fairly stable, and we've got parts being manufactured. We got really lucky with the iron deposit being right here. So I'm thinking this would be a really fun system to play through, I think. So what are we missing? So what are we missing for cores? 5 computers. Okay, so do we have enough to make 10 computers? We'll find out in a minute. We only need 2 more, and we can go ahead and do another. Well, we don't really need to do another core right now. So, all right. So, all of that said and done, I'm going to go ahead and call this episode here. I hope you enjoyed seeing the practical application in survival mode. Now that you have seen both creative and survival, what we will do is I think we'll make this an ongoing series where, unlike my normal survival game where I'm playing just to play, this one we're going to basically set small tasks for each episode, and what we will do is basically use it as a tutorial education piece, and we will, with those tasks set, come back and basically be achieving those tasks as we get through. So if you have any feedback, questions, or comments, feel free to throw them down in the section below the video. If you're enjoying this and want to see more, definitely hit that like and subscribe, as the likes and subscriptions do help the channel to grow, but they are the easiest and fastest way to tell me you're enjoying the content, and that's what I want to do, is bring you more of the content you enjoy. On that note, I am out of here. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and yeah, we will see you back here next time for more Empyrion. As always, folks, take care and be safe out there, everybody. Ooh, look at the sunset. Actually turned into a good location. We can see the water from here. We've got a good location for the sunset over the mountains. Oh, Yeah, this is going to be an interesting playthrough.